Excuse me. I want to just talk about the latest project that I've just put together. I can't remember where the camera is on. There it is. And how pleased I am, actually, with the way it's come out. So as you can see from the thumbnail picture, it's a style of guitar. So somebody said on one of the forums that I'm on that it looks like a Melody Maker meets a Flying V. And I reckon that's absolutely spot on. So here's the body, very reminiscent of a Melody Maker Gibson. And then the neck, like a Flying V. So there is it in that picture. There it is. Actually, I'm a right-handy, so cool. So the background of this is that it's obviously a kit guitar. I've got the body and the neck. Actually, I'll probably put a little raw picture up on the screen there. For I think it's $250. And it came with a sort of a nice quilted veneer, which has like almost like tiger stripes and everything else. One thing I did find when then starting to head down the route of trying to decide how I'm going to bring that make that pop. Ideally, what you're supposed to do is use a black dye or a very dark dye anyway on the top, and then rub it right back, and then you apply your color, your dye. And then obviously where the dark wood has absorbed the dark dye, makes it really pop. Now, I was actually, in fairness to the guy at Pitbull Guitars, I think his name's Adam, he did warn me that the veneers are incredibly thin. So probably wasn't a good idea to think about going down that path. The other thing which I noticed from another video online was that when they connect this veneer to the base, or to the bulk of the guitar, they obviously use glue, and because it's so thin, then the glue can either seep through the veneer, or it ends up as well being somewhere, some little bits. I think these two bits are evidence of that around the edges here. So, and this is just I purposely, well, as you'll see, I've purposely tried to make this look vintage, and I don't mean by scratching it and dragging it behind my car or anything like that. I just did it in such a way that like this back piece wood here, I just used a very dark Japanese brown, I think it was, the wood dye, and it's come out exactly as I would have hoped. It's hard to see in this light, but there's faded bits, there's light bits on the edges. So I did all that, and then I put a satin clear coat over the top, so it's now sealed in. So and it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, but nothing major. So I really like it. It's all about what I like anyway. So the gubbins, or the bits that I've used on here for the get-go, is to carry on my little affair with Oripure. So there's a very hot 11.5 kilo ohms P90, obviously with the dog ear. I had a choice. So there's actually a route for the P90, so I could have had it recessed into the body, but I think for this kind of style guitar, it had to be a dog ear. It also came with the pick guard, even though I've since ordered another one elsewhere, but this one's just black, which is hasn't got this is one piece rather than the 3-ply. What else? So yeah, so Oripure there. This bridge, this wraparound tailpiece, which works incredibly well. It's already got the intonation, where the strings, you can see there. I put it on, and then I just tuned it up as normal, and then thought I'll worry about the intonation a bit later. I literally did, I don't know, a couple of minor turns either side accordingly to make them sharper or flatter, and it's absolutely spot on. It is unbelievable. Anyway, but this the punchline of that is that this bridge was $6 from AliExpress. Again, I was just throwing stuff on here to just to get it together and just see what it likes, see if it played at all. The only other thing I've done is from the company who makes the Oripure, which is IKN Music, a Chinese manufacturer. They also did these button tuners, which are branded Fleor. They work really, really well. The thing I like as well about this headstock is because of that flying V shape and that the actual tuners are staggered more in an inward direction, the actual running through the nut is pretty straight. So therefore, you know, this thing about with my, I've got a 339 Epiphone, which is more the traditional Gibson type headstock. So these two here are much wider, and therefore the the G and the D strings actually break off quite sharp, and therefore you do get additional friction at the nut. Anyway, so these ones are nice and straight. And the only other thing I had to do then was that the action, once I got it together, is the action was just a little bit high for me, and the bridge was all the way down. So I then just stuck a very wafer thin shim at the base. It's a bolt-on neck as well. So just below here, or in between here, is a shim, which is probably, I don't even know what the size of it is, but it's very, very thin, just to knock the strings down a little bit. And I don't know if you can see that, but they're really, really quite playable. The other thing is a 24 3/4 inch scale length, so that's in keeping with the sort of traditional junior dimensions. A couple of 500k pots. I've also done the 50s style wiring, and that's about it. That's it. That's the beauty of these things. You just throw them together. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it becomes, as the namesake is sometimes, it becomes an axe. But this one, thankfully, will not be. So I'm now going to just zoop off and connect up my system to be able to record straight into my iPad, so you can hear what it's like. But just before I do that, and I don't know if it's in tune yet because I haven't tried it just yet, but this has is so resonant. The thing vibrates like a beast in the hands, and that's pretty apparent as well once you connect it up. So anyway, let's see how it sounds. final thoughts. With regards to doing a kit, I strongly recommend it because you develop some nice skills along the way. The kit that I got from Pitbull Guitars was, in fairness, like I said before, he did warn me that the veneer was wafer thin. So I would probably look around and make sure that you're getting what you want to get out of it. I've purposely gone for something which ends up looking a little bit rough and ready, but I think it's more in keeping with the style. But anyway, so and if you want to, the other thing I think I probably would look for now is more of the set neck rather than a bolt-on. But again, I suppose you're being led by the quality of whatever the company is who's made the kit as to whether the set neck will fit as intended. Obviously with this bolt-on, you've got a little bit of leeway to play around with the action if you need to. Electrics, again, I've got them from IKN, from that's Oripure and Fleor. No issues with those at all. I really like them a lot. So yeah, I'm really happy and think that I'll probably do another one. I actually quite fancy doing the SG Junior, maybe with the Bigsby. Who knows? But anyway, hope you've enjoyed, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.